All right. Welcome to Crumb Bum Deluxe. This is Crumb. I'm joined with Oddbehemoth. We're going to watch the CLAYFACE trailer. Go. Ouch. I like the style.
Yeah.
Glafacio. Nice. Shit. Well, I initially didn't really care at all. And it's
Oh, I
still not at
remember
the
your comments.
it's still not at the top of my list or anything, but I have to say I was quite impressed by the trailer. How about yourself?
I think it looks cool. I just like I mentioned in our Discord group with our friends.
Yeah.
It's always just fun to me that they release these villain movies, and then there's like he's obviously killing people or hurting them,
Uh-huh.
and it is R-rated, so I assume he will be killing people as
Yeah.
Clayface. And it's just like Batman ain't hearing about this shit. I think that's the thing that always gets me. But our friend did say that this does take place before Superman.
Yeah.
So, and since we haven't been introduced to the DCU Batman yet, uh,
Yeah.
I guess that you can kind of make that Batman, I guess, doesn't exist yet.
Right.
Um, so, or
Yeah.
he's there, or maybe it's year one and he's still getting his,
He's in the
boots on the ground
shadows.
kind of thing. I mean, it looks good. I'll always sign up for a Mike Flanagan anything, and I know that
Yeah.
he wrote it. He didn't direct it, which makes me cautious. But
Yeah, it was a James Watkins is the director. Mike Flanagan wrote it, so I think that's the biggest confidence kind of maker for this movie for me. Just
yeah,
he's written done so many hits, so I think the horror aspect of it, the horror angle of the film is quite good, especially most
yeah,
of Batman's rogues are some type of monster in a way. So it makes sense. And Clayface, I think a lot of people have wanted to see Clayface
yeah.
in live action for a long time. I've never seen this actor in anything. John, what is his name? Something Rice, Darby, Tom Rice
Uh,
Harries. He plays
yeah,
Matt Hagen, and
yeah.
so I wonder, how much it will resemble the Batman the Animated Series Clayface story that was so iconic for guys our age. Uh, you know,
Well, I know that he in that Batman animated series episode, he gets disfigured in a car accident, and it looks like a serial killer or tries to messes up his face in this movie.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. The
So
violent acts of some psycho to makes him go psycho.
yeah, I think I'm just I think it looks good. I'm gonna be there. I love a body horror film,
Yeah,
so you've got me from that angle. I do love the one shadow scene on the wall where his hand turns into like the mace.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I was like, that's cool because it's leaning more comic booky, and I think we've had many discussions about this. Is where I think they need to lean into more of the comic bookiness of these kind of movies again.
yeah.
Like I think there's a balance there for sure to make it like make you feel something, but then also give us the extravagance that is a comic book, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
so, and I think we need more of that. I think this whole like Nolan's Dark Knight realistic Batman stuff is cool. Like even the Pattinson Batman, I
Yeah.
love it. It's great.
My
But I want to lean more into that like what I love about reading a Batman or what not even Batman, just comic books in general is like, stuff that can't exist in our real world, you know.
well, yeah, I agree with that. I'd also say my take on that is for films, for a movie, for my money, it's all about believability. I don't care what it is, but if you can make me believe a dragon is there, or this guy can shapeshift, or, this guy is made of crystal, or whatever it is, as long as it's believable, and it comes off as, not corny or forced. So that's kind of my take
Yeah.
on that kind of thing. And I think I read, I'm not officially quoting, I swear I read this, but this is a part of the main DCU continuity.
Yeah. I read that
So,
as well.
so I think that's cool. I think it's actually a great way to introduce Gotham and setting up Gotham as also this character that it always kind of is, as in the Batman
Yeah.
story. So it's kind of cool to see that come up without Batman. Um, Initially, my concerns were like, oh, they'll just take the Joker formula and throw it at this. But already
Yeah.
in the trailer, you can kind of see how well this character lends to horror and that
Hmm.
body horror stuff. So I'm excited to see what grotesqueries they can manifest around, the whole notion of him being like this clay-like material from his, I'm assuming, like the cartoon, like some kind of treatment or chemical alteration.
Yeah, I watched a video where the actress in it that he's seen sitting on the couch with is the a character from the animated series that tries to fix Clayface, I think, in a later episode or something.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not
But
too
it looks like
sure.
they're
Yeah.
meshing both of those, like, well, that iconic episode of Clayface and then this other one,
Uh huh.
um, and kind of mixing those together. So that's what I saw from someone breaking down the teaser. They speculate that that's who she's playing. I don't. It could be. I didn't look up the actress's name or the character she's playing, but yeah, I think I am very interested. I think the thing that will get me out of this movie the most is when it goes full Clayface. Like that has to look really cool.
Yeah, and depending on how they approach it, he could just be like, I think what we're wanting to see is a really well executed behemoth of a clay monster man coming after you,
Yeah,
and his ability to whatever this chemical transformation he's gone through, his ability to, make like bladed kind of objects as well as blunt objects, which is what we're familiar with, like from the cartoons. But also,
yeah,
people trying to stab him or punch him, or, being shot at is one thing, but like it's way cooler if you see somebody's whole hand go into his chest and he's like smirking at him or something.
yeah,
So, hopefully, I think what we want to see would generally be considered over the top, but, I think I do want to see kind of the whatever the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde kind of aspect to this as well. Not that
yeah.
he changes, but you know what I mean? Like the more monstrous version, I kind of don't want him to play it too safe, but I don't want him to go too overboard with it either.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting balance to see how they do like the monster version, um,
Yeah.
that we generally see him as in the comics and in the animated series.
Yeah.
But I think there's a good way to do that. I just don't think you can have a guy with a drippy face, for an entire movie who can
Yeah.
transform his arms into maces and just be like, because we're already going to that territory, right?
Mm-hmm.
They've showed us the mace shadow scene, so
Yeah.
he can manipulate it into weapons. So,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, I
um,
mean, it begs the question if, like, does a Clayface movie work best as a standalone kind of idea, or
mhm.
or should this be already considered a canonical step in the DCU, So I definitely
Yeah,
think he's killing people, and ultimately when
yeah,
Batman meets the DCU Clayface, he'll have to answer for those crimes. But at this point, even though it is DCU, I don't know how religiously they're going to stick to all that, because it could, I don't know,
well,
it's interesting to think, because it's not Elseworlds, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, Gunn said it was rated R, so
Yeah.
I I assume that if this guy comes into a Batman movie, which there is going to be one, I like you're just going to dumb it down for a PG-13 and Clayface just isn't going to murder people, even though we'll probably see him. I mean, from the first image of the trailer, his face is all fucked up and there's
He's
blood
all
everywhere.
messed up. Yeah.
It's like it's a very R-rated, so I think I just read that it was supposed to be in the Matt Reeves universe, which makes a little more sense to me stylistically.
Yeah.
But
if the, again, that would be the more like safer kind of representation. It'd lean more noir, and maybe he'd be able to manipulate his face into disguises or something, like they would. I don't think Patton's, they would ever have a Reeves verse where he's making a mace, like that, just imagery
yeah,
doesn't match for me.
yeah, yeah. I
But
don't know. I
yeah.
mean, I guess you don't have to have Clayface murder people in a PG-13 Batman and Son,
Well,
Brave and
yeah,
the Bold movie.
exactly. Yeah, you
But
don't need to,
yeah,
but it's kind of cool that he does get his own standalone movie, because it's kind of out of left field for the audience. I think they can be a little edgier and take more daring
yeah,
swings with it. Because by the time we see Clayface in the DCU, it'll probably be a little bit more dialed back for sake of a PG-13 rating or whatever. But you have Deadpool; those are rated R, and then
yeah.
he'll be in
That's true.
Doomsday, which I'm sure will probably be PG-13, unless
Yeah,
there's some
there's no way that's
titty
good.
in it.
Just one, and you get the R rating, so
Just one,
Deadpool can curse a whole bunch.
just one.
Uh,
But
yeah,
yeah,
I heard I saw a thing where James Gunn was talking about where this wasn't a plan, like he literally just got the script and loved it so much. So
yeah,
that has me have some faith in this movie that he's the head of what's going on with DC film wise,
right.
and to just it doesn't seem like it was an easy decision to make the Clayface movie for him. Like,
Hmm.
it wasn't like he probably had plans and then Flanagan was like, "Oh, I have this idea for Clayface." Then he reads the script and goes,
Yeah,
"Fuck."
I
You
wonder,
know,
if it
like
started as
now I
a,
got to figure this shit
yeah,
out.
yeah. I wonder if it
So I
started as like a party conversation or something. Sorry.
yeah. Well, I'm sure they just reach out to like, "Hey, do you
Yeah,
have an idea for this or do you have an idea would you want like Flanagan directing a Batman film? I'd watch it. It should be
yeah,
great." But I'm sure knowing Flanagan, he was probably like, "Well, I don't want to do that, but I have this idea for a Clayface movie." You'd be like, it's so
yeah.
Flanagan and like left field,
And you never
you
know.
know.
He may have, yeah, ideas for throwing Croc into a Batman movie. That'd be
Yeah.
wicked. And we've yet. I think the Reeves versus the Battinson is like really the closest that Batman is inched towards horror. But even then,
Yeah.
I'd still consider that more of a thriller. Um,
Yeah.
but it would be very cool to see some director, the third or fourth Batman film in the DCU down the line. Let's get Killer Croc and Clayface, the horror one, the Batman horror one.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I think it's cool that they're doing this and it's not like,
yeah,
well, let's make a new Joker movie. Let's make,
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. As
because I
I
mean,
do. Let's go ahead.
Joker's iconic, but it's
Mm-hmm.
Batman has a great rogues gallery that we not even touched on most of the movies.
Yeah, and that's like kind of the difference with Gunn compared to maybe some of his predecessors was, um, you know, Gunn is a type of head of a organization that has, in my opinion, taste and like a very well studied connoisseurist attitude towards film. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
think as opposed to some of the other people who just kind of like, it felt like the first Suicide Squad was just kind of like this cherry picked thing, like, oh, let's
Yeah.
let's make our own Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of find obscure characters. But
But we'll make it R-rated.
with Gunn, I think, he proved with Peacemaker that he can take any of those obscure characters and put a real
Hmm.
good story behind them. But not only that, he has taste, I think, enough to know which characters deserve to be kind of pushed forward. And
Yeah.
so, yeah, I
Well, I
mean,
would even say
go ahead, sorry.
with his The Suicide Squad, it was like
Hmm.
a tonal shift, a better
Yeah.
movie. It had the outrageous in it with Starro being the villain.
Yeah.
Like, who would have seen that coming?
It's great.
Um, it's funny. It's R-rated. I know he knows what he's doing. It's just, it just seems like a weird swing after Superman. I think is like the weird thing.
Yeah.
It's like we get Clayface and Supergirl in the same, or what is it?
Same
Yeah, in the
year.
same year.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
very interesting.
It'll be cool to see things shape up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know what's after that in the. But yeah, I mean, I see. There's nothing weird about this to me because Gunn is such a horror fan. Like, I mean, even Creature Commandos,
Yeah.
it's like Frankenstein and The Bride. Like, it makes sense that he would greenlight something like this.
Yeah.
Um,
And I wonder if we'll see Clayface in the next season of Creature Commandos. Probably not.
yeah, I wonder. I wonder how
I don't know.
he'll. I wonder if it's going to tie into any of that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's
And
Creature, it's the big
and
tip off
and
for
if this
me.
movie
But
is good, it's going to be what Sony tried to do with the Spider-Man villains, but DC is going to be able to pull it together,
yeah,
Like if they do this and then they make,
I see what you're
a
saying.
couple of more, like if they make a Killer Croc one, if they make a Scarecrow or like, anything they wanted to do, and
Yeah.
then that leads us into, then we do a Brave and the Bold and that sets up Batman and Damian and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff they have planned, and then the next movie that they're in has Clayface or Scarecrow, Clayface and Croc, like you've got the character set up. You got a movie. If they
Yeah.
show up in Creature Commandos, you're still keeping them. People are still watching them. I guess
Yeah.
maybe not so much. The general audience go for like the cartoon stuff. I mean,
Yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to say.
and one of our friends brought up that it's like, oh, they probably won't cast this new Batman, or we won't find out till after Pattinson's Batman 2, or
Uh huh.
like, is it too much? And I was like, I don't know. If there was a different Batman in the Clayface in this Clayface universe, the whatever this is gonna be, if there was just another actor playing Batman, I was like, I don't know if I would care. I'd be like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Like you have the Brave and the Bold, you have this weird kind of Elseworldsy, maybe a more fun monster-oriented Batman, and then you have the Pattinson Batman. I'm like, okay, as long as you space all that stuff out and it each has its own distinct
Yeah.
vibe and stuff, I don't
I
think
could
I would.
do.
I
I could.
don't. I don't need one actor playing Batman throughout the entire
Right.
thing.
I could do two
You know,
Batmans. Three Batmans is pushing it. But if
give it
it's
to me.
like, yeah, if it's like a full-on adaptation of Arkham Asylum or something, I suppose I would
Well,
want that Batman to be a lot creepier than even
that's
Pattinson.
yeah. That's what I would love. Like if they just did these like single takes, like a director's
Yeah.
vision of like Arkham Asylum,
Yeah.
like that Dave McKean,
Mm-hmm.
story. Like I think that would be sick. And it's like, yeah, just whoever you think is the best person to play Batman for that movie, let's just cast him. Fuck it, let's go. you know.
Right. Yeah. Cool.
But
Well, that was the Clayface trailer. Thank you, Odd Behemoth, for joining me on the track. We'll be back next with talking about leaks from Elden Ring, the A24 production by, what's that guy's name?
oh god, I'm fucking blinking. Alex Garland.
Alex Garland. Why? I love him. Anyway, see you next time.